Kotaro Hayama, he's an in-house superstar.
Ooh.
For like the past couple of months, he played in NEL, and he's played like Huskar and like Tinker, and that's pretty much it. And like that's like I talked to Fear about him. I'm like, so who is Kotaro to you? And he's like, he's a Huskar picker. I'm like, that's it, huh? He just plays that hero. He only plays Huskar. He's like, yep, that's all. And then I talked to, like, I think it was like PBD's, like he's actually like a top tier player. So I was like, okay, well.
So he gets the praise from some of the top pros right now, and I like players like that. Players who pull out some of those unique, you know, back pocket grabs that maybe a lot of these teams are not used to. And I always throw this out there a lot. Sometimes just being able to take your opponent outside their comfort zone is just the best way to get that, you know, psychological upper hand advantage.
We are going to jump into the draft real quick. It is Root Gaming versus Complexity. We're ready to go.
I am hyped up, man. I've been waiting around that couch stream all day. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a lot of fun, but I got here early. I was anxious. I'm ready to cast.
It was hot in there, too.
And this room is more, you know, AC controlled.
That's true.
But cool.
Like we said, our passion's going to come through. We're going to get real hot in here as well.
We get hot from all the hype we're going to be bringing this America Dota patriotic action we got here. So let's start from the top here. Mott leading out the gate. They're going to be banning out the Queen of Pain here on the side of Root Gaming. Complexity, they're going to be acknowledging the Wisp and remove it now. A lot of NA Dota teams are not known for their, like, Chen play or big greedy junglers too much. So we might just see them pass over picks like Chen and Visage, where all the other regions really praise those kind of heroes. This is NA Dota.
Yeah. It's unfortunate because Complexity, before they had Moonmeander, they had Zissou, who like picked Chen every game. Now that they don't have that option, maybe you're thinking, do they have as much a drafting prowess as they once had? On the other side, you do have Fluff, and his support pool is pretty large. We're talking about support Mirana. He does play a lot of Visage. That's his like favorite hero, and I'm sure when he saw a lot of Visage play come out, he's like, yes, let's go. It's time for Visage here for Fluff. But maybe they go for something else. If I was Complexity, I think I would ban out Visage first ban here, just because of how well-known Fluff is on that hero. But
well,
Drow Ranger ban.
So if they ban out the Drow, they're probably not going to be going for the Visage, and I guess they don't want to risk Complexity picking up that 1-2 dominant punch. So Visage might just be off the table unless Root are planning to pick up something fun with the Visage instead, like a Lycan or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, there's options here. I don't know if Drow, you know, 100% rules out the Visage pick, especially because of how much Fluff plays it, but I definitely think that it means that they could have gone for Drow Visage, and that's a real easy way to get off to a first game win, is going Drow Visage, like, all right, all your towers are gone, we're going to kill your entire base. It's just an easy way to start the game, but they don't want that to happen for Complexity.
But the risky thing is picking Drow to be your ban still leaves a lot of good options. You got Gyrocopter out there and Undying still out there. These are still platinum pickups in 6.84, and I would not be surprised to see it here in the first phase.
So now you have to pick and choose if you're Root Gaming. What exactly do you want to go for? What is the hero that you pick up? There's no Leshrac, which is banned out, which I think is good. I think Gyro's pretty good too. Honestly, would go for Undying in my opinion. Either of those heroes I'm fine with. Maybe they go for something different, something interesting. They love Shadow Demon, or Shadow Fiend, excuse me, for TC. That's like his hero in the middle lane.
Yeah, but it is Dire's side after all.
That's true.
And I think Shadow Fiend's more praise. I think if they lead off here with the Gyro, oh wow. Now I would, you know, from what I heard, it was a good call. It was a really call. Now for a team to open up with Shadow Fiend on the Dire side, they have something in mind. We might see like a serious minus armor strat, something that can do Roche very fast and push on forward, because everyone knows that Shadow Fiend in the mid lane matchup just does so much more work on the Radiant side having access to that small camp. So they better have something in mind.
Yeah, they honestly could pick. They can't really. I don't think they'll pick a jungling hero now, just because they want to have those stacks for the Shadow Fiend later on. At least those two stacks on like the medium and the hard camp with the Dire side. But I also think they could have definitely gone for a Drow Ranger and had like that kind of like nifty early advantage in terms of precision aura and the base attack damage that they could have had. There's the Chen coming up for Complexity, the Gyrocopter as well. That is certainly an interesting start. Like I said, they had Zissou, who was a fantastic Chen player, but they're going to pick it up anyways. Maybe their new support, I think it might be Moon playing the support here, is going to be picking it up.
Moon of playing a lot of Chen. I mean, he's a very talented player, and maybe he just has the skill to be able to do it, or maybe they're going to be switching things up. Z-Freak was their support player for quite a while, and then he shifted to the off lane.
That's the thing about Complexity, man. I just don't know what they're going to do as far as laning is concerned.
That means that Root Gaming don't know either.
Yeah, that's true. The last time I watched them was WCA America, I think, and they had Zissou, I believe, still playing for them. Moonmeander wasn't quite there yet. Apparently, he's been playing in some JDL stuff, but well, there's going to be the Dazzle's second pick for Root Gaming, which is a very big, like, that is what Secret go for all the time. Puppy loves that hero, and I think this is a really solid choice for Fluff. because any early game aggression is going to be negated or somewhat negated with Shallow Grave. Weave is very good, like you mentioned, minus armor. That's already a thing with Weave and Presence of the Dark Lord. That's a very good start. I'm a fan. Let's go. Dazzle pick up second pick. Wasn't expecting it, but I'm pretty happy.
Now, if this was the Summit, I was going to be throwing out the casual Bounty Hunter here for Root Gaming.
Yes.
A lot of teams did like to go for that. They like to get in the face of Chen. And for a team like Complexity that are maybe not as well experienced about that whole kind of situation, they could have been roughed up easily from something like a Bounty Hunter. Still could be something that Root Gaming could go for down in this draft. We'll have to see or not. But they are going to be banning out the Shadow Demon, probably one of the best zoners you can get, at least from what I've heard from a lot of the players. So maybe that means that, you know, they want to make sure that their offlaner has a good time. They don't want him to be too pressured back from any sort of heavy zoner like a Shadow Demon. Now with him out of the picture and plus a Chen, their offlaner should not have too much trouble. So I'm curious what kind of priorities they're going to have there. Meanwhile, Complexity, an interesting ban here on the Clinks. The only other North American team that really has been running in the rotation recently has been EG.
Yeah, they love to get the Clinks. They like him farming. They don't like sending him to the jungle early, like we talked about. Like you'd think against a Chen, Clinks is very good, but you have to put him in a certain role in order for him to be that harasser that Bounty Hunter is. And so Bounty Hunter is still a viable pickup for Root Gaming, but Clinks is just so good against a Chen because you death pack to creep, and all of a sudden he has one less creep in his army. And that hero actually got buffed last patch as well, on last big patch, I should say. And I think that hero has just been getting steadily buffed, and it's a good hero now, but we have yet to see its full potential unleashed. For Complexity, as you mentioned, they do not have the Shadow Demon available. I'm thinking like a CM could be good with a Gyrocopter, just something to keep a hero in place, get ready for the Rocket Barrage. You don't necessarily need that. Just an aggressive support with a Gyrocopter, I think, is very good. Just anything that can run at a hero.
Just in general, being more aggressive is something Complexity are probably going to be looking for. Gyrocopter has that benefit of being able to go into fights right away. You know, as soon as he hits level 6, like let's say in the safe lane, maybe level 7, he could quickly appear on the other side of the map and go for that first ganking kill. You know, there's been a lot of talk and a lot of praise over his call down, the ultimate now, just how big its freaking radius is and how slow it can make you. It's so big. It's so big. It's so huge. So fat and girthy, but you know, it's Gyrocopter after all, and this is the risk you take when you do let him slip through and go for something like a Drow ban instead. So maybe Root Gaming prepared themselves for Gyrocopter. They know they have the answer for it, and they're going to be ready to pull it out here. We'll just have to see what that could be.
I think Dazzle's good against him. Gyrocopter, if you're Icefall, you got to be like, God damn, what do I have to do to nerf this hero, man? It changes Rocket Barrage. You know, I nerfed his agility a while ago. The Rocket Barrage, he changed twice, I think. And that damage is still pretty good now. Rubik, that is a top-tier support in this metagame. Rubik, Chen, the good old combo that Secret loves to run, but Complexity can pick it up for themselves. I'm a big fan of this combo.
Yeah, we saw a lot of the Chinese teams earlier prioritize the Rubik so much that they will even first pick it right out of the gate. It's almost past the point of normally like, oh, we'll get a Rubik because they have a lot of great, tasty spells I'd love to seal. It's more as we just value him as a great support, and we're going to go for it. Yeah, I mean, of course, I think, you know, it's well-deserved. All the praise he's been getting, and these first pickups certainly work out. Not a lot of great options right now for the Rubik to take. Yeah, some nifty little ones here with the Dazzle, maybe a quick Shallow Grave, the Weave, what have you. But it could also restrict the hero pool of what Root Gaming want to get moving forward as well. So we'll have to see. But there's more aggression. A third pick Sven. Was this necessary? You don't get more American than a Sven. That's for sure.
The Great American Cleave, he's coming out, and this guy loves to lift his weights. He's a big dude.
This is a lot of armor.
Yeah, that is a lot of armor. There's armor reduction and there's armor. There's the Weave and, of course, the War Cry coming out. Gyrocopter's like, well, I guess I'm just going to rely on Rocket Barrage, and I don't know how you fight into this. Even with like a Chen pushing with a Gyrocopter and all of that damage that you have, like if you're pushing into a tower, if you pop War Cry and Weave, you're going to be ran at. It's going to not be a good time for Complexity Gaming. The damage coming out as well later on with God Strength is going to be huge. Get a Medallion for Dazzle. There's like armor reduction and armor amplification, but in order to deal with that, they go for the DK, the inherently tanky bad boy himself, Sir Davion, coming out for the Radiant Squad.
It's just so tricky rather. I knew that when they picked up the Shadow Fiend first on Dire side, they had to have something in mind. And clearly they do, but was it worth, you know, going third pick Sven? I feel like it's something they could have held off with. You know, not a lot of teams are really going to be predicting it unless Root Gaming, you know, it would have been a dead giveaway with maybe one of these potential picks to come that a Sven just seems to be nearly the right grab. So that's a bit iffy to me. Sven can be a bit weak if you're able to kite around him and he's not able to get in the mix, and, you know, tremendous powerhouse in the late game. But if he doesn't get to that pinnacle point, that's where you're into trouble.
You're absolutely right, because like early game, he wants to farm and he wants to be able to fight. It's really rough, honestly, because he has to go for one or like he has to either go Blink or BKB, and if he wants to go for like a Helmet of Dominator, you're just going to want to farm. That's not going to be the case. I think they need to fight with this. Then they go for the Lone Druid, the 4th pick Lone Druid. Now you have to wonder how they're laning this. More than likely, they could go aggro, trialing with Dazzle and a Sven, but into a Gyrocopter. There is a Chen, so they will have the advantage, and the Chen is going to be in the jungle for the majority of the early game. Maybe pick up a last pick aggressive support, but I'm not sure.
I mean, could still be that bounty hunter, maybe, but this is clearly Fluff is being the mad scientist right now. I mean, he's got something in mind he wants to go for, and Lone Druid is just something that Complexity love to run. So they are, relatively familiar with it. Ziz is, he loves playing that Lone Druid.
Yes. What I'm thinking is Ancient Apparition, Dazzle, Sven. You have a disable from the Sven. You have your Chilling Touch to buff up your attack. Your range on Dazzle is so huge. You get up close with the Sven, you Shadow Wave, and then your supports are dead, and then maybe the Gyrocopter is dead as well. I think Ancient Apparition could be a good last support here, or they would maybe want more control, maybe go for like an Earthshaker.
Why not get a Lich and have even more armor? Go crazy with the armor.
That's too much armor. There's a point where it just drops off. You're like, okay.
Has armor gone too far?
4 out of 5 scientists say.
Ooh, I like the late ban on Brood. That's one of those heroes that you just kind of forget about, and then a team picks it, and you're like, ugh.
Not today. If you're playing against Not Today, you ban that hero out 9 times out of 10. You do not let Ifrit have that hero ever. Just don't do it. So.
Oh, man. So what are we looking at for remaining picks here? Complexity need to get their offlaner here. Root Gaming, we figure a support, so why the ban on Brood? Are they actually thinking this is going to be like a support Sven?
It could be. It definitely could be. There is mana issues, obviously, with the hero. You have a stun. You have Warcry. Maybe they just pick the hero for Warcry, honestly, to buff up your team, and then you get a hard carry like in an anti-mage or something, but that doesn't make much sense. Honestly, I'm not sure. I love this Clockwork ban from Root Gaming. That is like top-tier offlaner
Fly's
in
got
this
a lot
patch.
Of options too, though. I mean, he might creep in with like a Phoenix or something like that here.
But is it Fly supporting or Fly offlaning? We don't know, dude. We have no idea.
We don't know. Other valuable options, maybe a sneaky Bristleback who can help counteract the armor a bit.
You said sneaky. I was about to think Nyx Assassins.
Nyx Assassin, that'd be fun.
That's a Mouse Sports offlaner for Bulba, by the way, and we're going to see a lot of that later on down the road.
Maybe. We won't get to over here. Unfortunately, we don't get to cast any.
We don't get a top-tier Mouse Sports team now, unfortunately. They get that over there at the Sanj stream.
That's fine. That's fine.
Bastards.
Could be overrated. You never know. They could be in a bit of a slump, and we could be casting the very next big, invite.
Unknown.
Yeah, unknown. It could be. What if it's unknown, man?
Dude, if it's unknown, I think we would both be so happy
that's
about
like
that.
The biggest. I mean, yeah, there's a stigma there. They're ex-Union Gaming players, but come on.
Yeah, but
to make it through open qualifiers and go all the way to an invite.
However much delay we have, like I'd be down for an unknown.
That'd be crazy.
That'd be story crazy. There. But last pick for Complexity. What is it going to be? They need that offlaner for whoever is going to be playing it. 10 seconds left on the
Maybe they already know, and they're just planning out how to start out the game. This is serious business. A lot of money. TI, folks. TI, frickin' America. Complexity Gaming. What is it? It's Darkseer.
That is the tried and true. This is Darkseer's patch right now, 6.84. See, they have so much team fight. Vacuum into Breathe Fire, into Fade Bolt, into Call Down, into Rocket Barrage, into frickin' everything that Chen has at his disposal.
Iron Shell, a frickin' Chen creep.
Yeah.
Have some fun with that.
Root Gaming, how are you going to team fight into this? Yeah, you got Warcry. Where are your BKBs? Where's your Magic Immunity?
Yeah, it's going to be tricky here. And now we're Gaming. We look for their last pick. Is Sven going to be that support funky Sven that even Complexity are anticipating, and they go for the offlaner here, or are they going to be changing things up?
You got some balls if you go for support Sven in the first game you play in the qualifier. Oh my God,
my first game, and it's a Keeper of the Light.
Nobody is more happy than you right now at this point in the game. Fluff playing the Keeper of the Light. Is he going to go for the Coiling Blade standard? Let me just farm up that jungle for 10 minutes, get an Aghanim Scepter. Is that something they want to do? They have so many heroes that can take stacks in the jungle. Sven, Shadow Fiend, Lone Druid really can't, but that's fine. Keeper of the Light. So.
Look for the Quelling Blade. If he gets the Quelling Blade right away, he's going to that jungle.
Yes.
And the thing is does Complexity have an answer to go into that jungle and stop him from getting what he wants? Because, when I was talking about it with like Owie and them, it's like, it's almost like an Enigma in a sense. He just works through their jungle. He's very, very greedy, like an Enigma could be, for example, and just bull rush into the Agnums. And an early Agnums coddle is just devastating. Even PPD said it himself in his own vlog recently. And it's definitely something we'll have to look out for. He does not have the quelling, so they are going to be laying it up. It could be an aggro lane with a coddle, which is very dangerous.
This is what I was talking about, but I don't know. It's kind of hard to hit Illuminates. So Complexities, it's going to have to be really just their their positioning. If Complexity's positioning is bad, they're going to get destroyed if it's an aggro tri lane. They are heading to the jungle early. They're going to put a lot of wards down. They want to make sure this Chen has a rough time. They throw down this one aggressive ward. They have another ward over here blocking this camp and getting vision of the runes. So that's the thing that's really good. They put 2 sentries down to block this camp here. There's a lot of hate. There's 2 camps really to work from right now for Complexity. It's this one. This one. I think this one might not be... This ward should block this camp, I believe.
Do they have any sentries on hand? Now, Chen does have 1 sentry ready to go, and they split the other onto Rubik, so they are ready and willing, but they have to guess correctly here. Early Ion Shell for Darkseer. I think he's going to put that off and start heading to the offlane right now, so he can be there
fight
at the
this
start.
man.
They're charging up the blast. Nice. That's 200 damage for a level 1 ability. It's very big.
Complexity, they're in a really bad spot right now. Ziz is going to head to the Roche pit. The race is going to go through. Not going to get it done. They get the telekinesis drop stun. Swindle's going to turn on this Bunny in trouble. They have the Iron Shell, the Rocket Barrage, and Ziz gets first blood onto Fun. That's a huge pickup. It was looking real bad for Complexity there, but they turned around. Monkeys is chasing down Fly, who is in a heck of a spot right now. He's going to head to the secret shop, and he'll say hello, and then get chopped down once or twice, and then Monkey says, I don't think so, no.
Oh, he ate the mango.
The mango.
They're going to turn it back onto him. Fluff is there. He's like, I'm going to help you out, but he has nothing. So, might have been a waste of a mango. We'll have to see. He'll take himself back to lane, but it is Complexity who do strike first. Oh, that looked promising at the start for Root Gaming. They had a good setup on the high ground, but I guess things got a little too hectic. And
oh no, the sentry misses from Fly. This is a swing and a miss. He thought it was the good old magic bush spot because this is warded, or this is blocked, and this is blocked. This is also blocked, though.
Oof.
That's rough. That is 1 Sentry Ward expended for absolutely nothing. The Courier was going to get sniped by Fluff. That actually didn't happen. I do want to mention, by the way, we do have Moppack standing in for stats. A good old friend of mine. Shout outs to him. You follow him at Moppacks. But anyways, the lanes are shaping up now. It is going to be Moonmander playing that offlane role. Support Fly for Complexity's Rubik. And DK versus TC Shadowfiend matchup, but there's already that annoying tornado. And he's like, please, come on.
Man, this is frustrating already for your early Shadowfiend. You know, with that, Swimmone's easy breezy going to be able to scoot right into some early CS. TC has to wait it out to get that level 4, level 5, and really be able to punish with those raises. So any sort of head start that Swindlemelons can get is very profitable to him and his team. But this is going to be very difficult as well. Bottom lane, Monkeys Forever, the solo off lane Sven, easily getting zoned back from Fly. He is going to need some help. And it doesn't look like Fluff is going to be there by his side just yet. He's working around this top lane right now. They're trying to zone back the Darkseer, but Darkseer naturally could just get more out of the lane. I mean, he already has 6 CS thanks to his Ion Shell, and as long as he has Surge, he can play it a bit dangerously and just kind of run when needed.
They need an early point in Mana Leak, honestly, for Fluff. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
You can't run away from Mana Leak. That's you being dead. But Fluff's only level 1. There's no pulls happening, even though they have the camp ready to go to pull from. I'm surprised they left the Sven down alone, but maybe they had a thought process as, okay, we could have gone aggro trialing, we decided not to. So offlane Sven is not something you see too often, but he should get levels. He's very tanky. He's got the Warcry. It is a tough lane with telekinesis as well as Rocket Barrage, and when a Chen comes in, it's even harder. But Z-Freak has got his hands full already with the jungle as it is. He's level 3, so he's done a nice job so far, given that he's only gotten 2 camps to work with. But
yeah, he's going to quickly realize when he turns the corner here after this camp that there's not much else to work with. But still, he's getting a lot out of it in comparison to, you know, maybe some of the supports over here on Root. We look to bottom lane, and it's still a struggle here. Look, zoned back so hard, Monkeys Forever. He's like, I need some freaking help here, and that's where Fluff is going to answer the call. He shows up, put that level 2 into Chakra because you just need the mana. He had no other way of pulling up the mana. He even went with the early boots. So, you know, he doesn't have a lot of substance to really add to the game just yet. He's going to have to wait, try to get some levels, and then maybe that early point in the Mana League could help out a bit. But for now, it's going to be Ziz all day. 18-7 already on this gyro.
He's having a fantastic time down in the bottom lane. And the supports are going to leave him alone. So they say, we're going to smoke up. We don't really need to help you, but the smoke is broken by Fluff. He knows he's going to run away. He's not going to get caught out. Telekinesis, the range is just not really there. Especially at that first level. They're going to wrap around. They might just dive the tower for this, but they should know that this is happening. And Monkeys Forever needs to be careful. We'll see if they can push in this wave, or what are they looking for exactly?
I mean, they have this ward over here, so they would see if Complexity turned back and went, you know, into their own jungle. But since they haven't made the return, you know, Fluff is letting them know, hey, be careful. They're still somewhere hiding and creeping. And if PC gets caught here, that is very unfortunate because they saw this coming. Oh, they see it now. It's going to be ping. Fluff makes the call, and you know, right place, right time for Fluff to pop that smoke, and it looks like Complexity are going to be coming up short in this gank attempt.
And that's really important. Like, that first gank from a Chen is so important for your team to snowball and get something going, and that just didn't happen. But at the other side, Moonmander is still getting a decent amount of the off lane. He's got 10 last hits. There's only 1 for the Sven. Sven might be doing okay in experience. In fact, he's ahead of ahead of Moonmander, but it's just he's not really getting the CS.
One CS.
That's not great.
Certainly is not. He's got to wait it out a bit until maybe Fly, goes somewhere else and he can try to match up with Gyro, but that ain't easy. So for now, he just kind of tries to take a bit of the creep back, go closer to the tower to work with the CS at that forefront. But already you can see just this is going to be there to kind of zone him back. So it's going to be a rough time here. But what's Fluff up to, man? He is just harassing this jungle, trying to blast down the creep and take him for himself. Yeah, don't catch me. Hey, he runs away.
Yeah, they're not gonna be able to catch him. They're gonna actually have to send the bear back home for Moo up in the top lane. He's just taking too much harass with the bear. Actually, now he brings it back. There's double Iron Shell creeps coming in, which is really hard for the Druid bear to do anything. They're gonna use the good old poison touch, but Moon should be okay. He's got Surge, unless he gets Entangling Claws, which no first hit proc, no first hit entangle coming out. And Funnel. Oh, there's the Entangle. Do they have enough damage here? They should.
Oh, the heal!
There it is. That's the kill. Easily done coming out from Moon. That is the Entangling Claw. The second hit root coming out. That's huge.
RNG working in the favor already here nicely for Moo, and Gaming Reveal even things up 1-1. Very nice stuff, and I love the little bits of synergy there. Dazzle with the heal certainly can bounce off the bear and the Lone Druid himself, adds that bit of extra damage. And as we see Z-Freak going right back to his jungle, they always say you can play Chen 2 different kind of ways. One is, being more aggro, getting there with smoke and going for the gank, which he did try for, and the other is just kind of put yourself in that jungle, blitz forward, get the mech, and then go for the push. And in this case, probably that bottom tier 1 tower.
They want something. They do have a very fast start for the Gyrocopter. One thing I will say is, and I talked about this during the draft, is that Root love their Shadow Fiend, and for good reason. TC almost never loses when he's in a matchup with Shadow Fiend. He seemingly just somehow comes out on top, and he's got such good farm now with 38 last hits, 10 denies. The DK is 23-2. He's struggling. The DK doesn't really come into his own until he's level 6. He is 6 now, but it's clearly not helping him out. He hasn't used his Elder Dragon form yet. He's getting his creeps raised up, and he can't really do much about it. Like, this is just a difficult lane for him to start out with.
It's just where Shadow Fiend takes over, and in traditional Dragon Knight, play style, he's not going to be looking to roam around with his level 6. He's waiting for maybe the Shadow Fiend to head elsewhere, and he can capitalize on that opportunity to push down that tier 1 and bring in that extra bit of an economy boost for himself and his team. No one's deterring quite yet. They're just kind of, letting the Dragon Knight do his thing for now. He's very tanky, so you can't just walk in there and gank him. Plus, Coddle is not one to gank at all, so he'll be able to kind of just plant himself there and have to deal with the Shadow Fiend. If he gets on the back end of a couple of bad raises, then it's going to be a different story.
For now, he's just sitting, farming, but so is everybody else for the most part. No one's really coming out and ganking. It's not scoreless just yet, but it's 1-1, obviously. And
now it's a smoke gank, though, from Complexity. They're creeping slowly. Fun's nearby, but not close enough to pop that smoke. They see it there now. Oh boy, he's looking to come on in. They're maybe thinking that TC is busy jungling or something, but he'd already finished his business there. We'll have to see if they come up successful with this gank.
Moon was looking top. He's looking to maybe dive in. They even get a TP coming through. That's from the Gyrocopter. He's rotating top lane to try and stop Moon from farming here.
This is what I was saying, Mott. Level 6, level 7. Look for that Gyro to go all the way to the other side of the map and begin those ganks here. He's got a level 3 Rocket Barrage and that call down to work with. Devastating with anyone that can come across his path.
Fly and Z-Freak cannot decide what to do. They're saying, let's go top. No, let's go mid. No, let's go back top. They have this ward down in the jungle so they can see anybody coming through, but
they're going to be scouted. Fluff's right there. How's it going? They're going to telekinesis pull back, or they can commit for it. They got the net. They're looking to bring him down with the Fade Bolt. They are going to grab him, but it's going to be a return for a support. Fly on the run. Not going to be able to make it too far, but look at Swindle. He's looking to interject. Sweeps in with his dragon form. Dazzle trying to run. There's the snipe with the raise. They're able to take down the Rubik. Fun. He's just going to go a Shallow Grave. No TP follow-up right there. Meanwhile, Sven shows up. Monkeys Forever dishes out the stun onto Swindle Melons, and it looks like they'll just kind of part ways. A 2-for-1 trade. Advantage for Root Gaming will even things up 3-3.
Yeah, good stuff. Really quick rotation from TC. He came in so quickly, got in there, got the kill pretty much immediately with that raise onto Fly, which was really well done. And then the trade, obviously, Test of Faith came coming in and bringing down one. Meanwhile, I think Moo died top lane. Not sure if that was a kill coming out from the Ion Shell. Rather, it was the wall. The level 6 wall from Moonmander gets the kill. Rotation in, Ziz gets mana drain. He can't actually move. Now he can. Stunned up. Ready to go. There's the poison touch from Fun. Looking for a shadow. Doesn't even need it. Just needs the last click at TC will be given the kill. No stick charge there to help out the Gyrocopter. In fact, he doesn't even have it. And TC will pick up the, I think, his 3rd kill of the game. Yeah. TC is on fire right now.
Now with him departing from the mid lane, they're going to try their best to push down that mid tier 1 1 tower. Swindle using the back end of his Dragon form, and of course with Z-Freak rather, around with his little skeleton army that's going to get obliterated right there. They tried their best, brought the tower pretty low, but not low enough. And because TC able to get that last hit on Gyro, pretty much makes up for Moo going down. Now Fluff going to cross pass here with Moon. Where is Fluff going right now? He's going to plant a ward. It might have been scouted if Moon was able to click on him and check the inventory. Now he's going to be able to dish out a Mana Leak. Ziz is like, get the hell back here. He gets the help from the Surge. Going for the Rocket Barrage. Can he catch up with the old man? He certainly can. Get down, fool. Brings him apart.
A bunch of bullets to the back of an old man does not feel very good.
No.
Geriatric, he'll fall instantly. Moon Meander did the early footwork. It's confusing Moo and Moon Meander in the same game. Come on.
Yeah, they're not making it easy for us.
No, definitely not. Ziz rotates top lane, flat cannon ready to go. Moo's just going to get pushed back. They're going to want to put pressure on this tier 1 tower, and I think this is huge. They want to be able to invade the jungle. The best way to do that is take the tier 1 mid and the tier 1 top, and they're already putting pressure here on both of these lanes. TC is going to have all of his work cut out for him, I feel like. TC is really the only one getting off to a good start for Root. Lone Druid has an okay start, but no Midas or anything that I can see. He only has his Tranquil Boots on him, and then I think on his berry, his face, he does. So he didn't go for the Midas. Tower was taken down by Ziz top lane. He has the Bracer, probably going to be going for Drum. This is what we see RTZ do a lot, is go for phase Drum on the Gyrocopter and then run at people. Telekinesis on Devon, he's just dead.
That was nicely set up, yeah, with the nets as they were TPing in, had nowhere to go. He gets the shallow grave, getting a little bit of space. Fluff trying to help out with the blast, but there's going to be the fire breath, and they're going to be able to bring down the Dazzle. While they were able to get that tower top, there was some good farm happening there in the mid lane up to that point for TC, and hey, Monkeys Forever, who had a struggling start, suddenly he's got a wide open lane to work with here on his Vet.
And meanwhile, we see TC going for the Eul Scepter. Look how far they're diving from complexity. They really want this tier 1 tower. Sentry Ward was placed in a nice spot. It was actually de-warded, that ward here in the jungle. There is another one placed up a bit further to the north, which makes it solid. They get that tier 1 tower. So now they can invade the jungle of Root Gaming. Make sure that they don't take the stacks. Make sure that the Lone Druid does not get easy farm as well. I think that's very important. Monkeys Forever down bottom. Ziz rotates in. Stormhammer comes out. Monkeys realizing he might be in trouble. They're hoping this will connect, but I don't think Ziz will chase any further. So like you mentioned, Monkeys does get a free lane. He gets to a headdress as well, whether he wants Vlad's or Mech, which it looks like it will be Mech because he already has the Arcane Boots. I think that's a really good choice for Monkeys Forever. Although it's not something you see every day. Motpax, if you want to give us the stats on a Mech Sven, I would be more than happy to see
just a Greaves Sven. I mean, I believe it's got to be a world's first, but we'll have to see. Could end up being a Vlad's after all.
Who really knows?
Who really knows? But TC, who's the monster of this game right now, getting close to 6K net worth himself. The next closest here, DK at 4.7. He will continue to farm up his bottom lane and poke this bottom tier 1 if possible. But already the rotation coming in. It's going to be Fly, who's first on the scene. And just behind him, it looks like it's going to be Moon Meander here. So they're not going to let any tower go easy. They're just going to be right there, ripping, ready to go.
I like the split push that Root are going for, putting pressure on the bottom lane. Now they have Moo going back top lane. So this 5-man Dota is sort of getting stifled from complexity. I mean, it's pretty clear what their intentions are. Tower after tower after tower after tower. And I mean, when you have a Chen, it's pretty obvious that's what you're doing. But the biggest issue is going to be dealing with TC. And eventually Monkeys Forever is going to have that mech as well, which I believe it's going to be a mech. There was the Eul Scepter picked up for TC, which is huge. He's almost level 11, so that level 2 Requiem is going to be coming out and it's going to be dishing out a ton of damage. Is he the highest level in the game? He is. Okay.
Close to, yeah, level 11, man. Oh, Swindle with the Invis Rune comes in from behind, pops him in the head with the stun. And here comes the call down. Ooh, Telekinesis is going to throw him right back in the middle of it, and they're going to easily bring down the Shadow Fiend. This is a huge grab for COL, and now they're going to charge down this mid lane. They're pinging it out. Root need to be there to defend, but can they get there to really stop him? This Dragon form is very fresh, and with Chen's army as well, they're going to be doing some serious work.
Yeah, I think without the Shadow Fiend, they will take this tower. It depends on how the Illuminate's going. It looks like Ziz actually is not going to be a part of this. Maybe they won't go for it. Ziz heads top. He has the Helm of the Dominator. He's pushing back Moo. The Spirit Bearer doing work. Moo is going to be going for a casual cloak, realizing that there is a lot of magic damage coming out from Complexity's side. Hand of God goes as down bottom. I think they were taking, I don't know, maybe it was some of the Chen groups they wanted to keep healthy. That might be more likely. They want to keep this push going. I think that's the biggest issue. And Illuminate does a really good job of stifling it.
Yeah, they need that heal, otherwise the blast might have finished off a couple of creeps. Stormhammer going to be flying out on Fly as he does steal it. So they'll be able to walk away with that one. They're not going to grab the tower, but they do a lot of damage as it was, you know, originally full, now down to only 200 life.
It's only ever been done once in Pro Dota. A Sports Fen leading Febi's old team, Bird Gang, to victory.
Bird Gang!
They won with it, wow.
Aka.
Okay.
We'll see if it's going to be a 100% win rate for the mech Sven.
He doesn't have anything on the courier, so who knows? It still could be Vlad's. He might have picked up another item at this point if it was. I have a feeling it is mech.
It's so interesting just to go down this road. I mean, the intention's got to be going for greaves. Otherwise, why would you just get arcane boots? I mean, you have a Coddle on your team to help out with the mana.
Yeah, you're right.
It's very, very, very interesting.
Speaking of arcanes, Fluff has them in his own right. He's
So
probably
much
going to be
mana.
going. He's going to be going Ags, much like every other Coddle right now.
I mean, unless he's going to be the mech holder instead.
I don't think so.
But yeah, Ags is huge on a Coddle. You're talking about that free taxi cab Uber service getting around the map for that bit of split push. Uh-oh, Fluff puts down an aggro ward. Fly with the haste, though, or the Surge, rather, was trying to catch up for the telekinesis. It's not going to be there.
Enough.
He's going to have to pull back.
He does get the counter ward off. He saw Fluff place that ward. That was really, really important. That's a ward down for a long period of time, and Fluff's like, God damn it, I just put that thing down.
Easy 50 gold, though, for Fly.
He's almost 6. So you go for the level 6 at level. You go for the Keeper Light Spirit Form level 6, I'm assuming, right? There's no.
More often than not, yes. I mean, you can sometimes get funky if you don't feel like big team fights are going to be coming, or you don't really have an early use for the recall. I guess you could put the extra point into your blast and pull it up to level 4, or just get your Chakra Magic a bit higher at level 3. But more than likely, getting the Spirit Form is just so big because it comes with so much as well. You get that Blinding Light, you get that recall, and it's so good. Blinding Light is very, very big.
Good ability. I will say that the DK is going to be going for a Shadow Blade. It's probably going to be Shadow Blade into BKB, and then later on in the game, if he wants, goes for a Silver Edge. I was talking to a couple of people about this item, Silver Edge, and a lot of them at the beginning of the patch were saying this item is going to be great. Now it seems to be the most overhyped item of the patch when you think about it. Like, how often do you see a Silver Edge anymore? And is it particularly good in this game?
Yeah, not very often. DK is probably one of those top candidates to be able to pick it up, and if you just put a lot of value in the break capability on the other team, then I could see some strong use maybe against like a Bristleback or something that you really want to be able to rid of that easy passive. In this particular game, I mean, really, what is it like? Maybe the presence of the Dark Lord doesn't seem too crazy valuable.
Yeah.
So he might just get the Shadow Blade and then build on from there. Maybe going for just like the BKB next.
Shadow Blade's a great item because it allows you to even like solo gank at the enemy jungle against the support. But as far as Silver Edge is concerned, I do not see him building that item this game unless it's very late on into the game, because then you could transition the Shadow Blade into another item. And there's still really good stats with the Silver Edge. Just for now, it's going to be, I imagine, Shadow Blade into BKB, but we'll have to wait and see. For Moo, is he going to be going for the Radiance? He has 1,600 gold, went for the Casual Cloak, hasn't picked anything else up since then, and continues to farm away. TC is the biggest farmer, and he's going to be going right for that BKB after the Yule's pickup comes out. Monkeys Forever, does he have the mech? He has the mech recipe. There it is, my friend. The good old heel Sven coming out.
Second time ever. Witnessing history, folks. We'll have to see if it's going to be pulling out the win in the end. Very unusual kind of a build-up. Of course, the third pick Sven was already unusual as it is, so Fluff just continuing to be a very unique kind of a drafter here. So mech is going to be in hand. Ziz, who is your second most farmed hero in the game, just behind TC on his Shadow Fiend right now, goes for the Yasha build-up here. So SNY seems to be on the radar for him.
Yeah, he's more than likely SNY at this point in time, and that's just... It's going to be huge because it provides you that damage, provides you the move speed, provides you the tankiness. Again, it's like for Gyrocopter, you're not really worrying about the late stages of the game at this point. You just run around and kill people. You run around and kill people, make sure you get some early game aggression. That'll be the case for Complexity. They get the mech later on the Chen than the Sven. Chen and Sven picking up the mech.
Chen, Sven. There is some fun interaction as well if Fluff is able to put more points into his Chakra Magic, and he did put the value point into Illuminate before getting his Spirit Form, so I guess he just feels he wants to get a bit more nuke damage. Of course, could just end up bringing in more farm and XP even faster, so it's okay. But if he's able to level up a bit more into Chakra Magic, reducing a bit of cooldown, it could help with stuff like Stormhammer, for example. Starts at about, it looks like 13 seconds cooldown. You take off 4 seconds from that, and you will easily be able to get out 2 stuns in one fight.
I like where Root Gaming are situated. They're down about 5,000 net worth, though. They need to start getting farm, and a lot of that has to do with towers. They can't take any towers at this point. They've taken 0 tier 1s. Complexity know this. They don't want to give away free towers. There's a huge Chen army with double Dark Troll Summoner. There's 4 skeletons wandering around. Spooky, scary skeletons indeed.
Did we acknowledge the Glimmer King pickup here for Moon Meander on Darkseer?
I just saw that, and that's huge because he doesn't have to go for the mech, right? He can go for whatever item he feels. And Blink Dagger 9 times out of 10 is probably the first item we pick up, but he goes for the Glimmer Cape first. There's so much magic damage in this game. I definitely think it's a huge pickup, especially for the DK. he almost doesn't have to buy BKB in that situation. Spell Steal, they find fun. There's the call down. Rocket Barrage, we'll see you later. Gets blown up. Weave coming back. They vacuum up the Spirit Bear. They can't chase him down as big of a target as that would be. Complexity's early game strategy seems to be working. They're getting tier 1 towers, they're getting kills, they're getting farm. More importantly, they have lead.
Yeah, Root, they clearly acknowledge that they are coming full force, looking for the push. We will not be able to team fight them at this point, so they quickly, delegate the big core farmers to other lanes. And Fluff, as soon as he made that call, was like, I'm out of here. TP's out. Unfortunately, though, their sacrifice is going to be fun and his dazzle. So with that, they're going to charge on forward. This is going to be 2 towers taken down. Zoning wall and vacuum is going to be a whiff from Moon Meander. Yeah, we saw that, buddy.
Oh, man. Moon's like, please, dear God, I hope the casters didn't see that. We did. Monkeys Forever. Now there's going to be a recall from Z-Freak to get his creeps here. He wants the ensnare. He's got the range. He surges up the Dark Troll Summoner, but the Stormhammer catches him. Monkeys Forever might actually survive this, and he really shouldn't. Oh, great Stormhammer onto 2. They actually do defend their tier 1 tower top lane. And Complexity, they can't quite get that kill, but they're more than happy with what they've accrued across the map. Fly has a blink dagger. He has more than a blink dagger. Fly has 2.8k gold. There it is. Plus 500 now after the blink is picked up, so that's huge. Very
farmed Rubik, and he's only 1-1, so it's not like he's been getting a lot of this extra bounty from the kills. It's just taking down these towers. They've taken down, tier 1 and 2 mid lane, tier 1 and 2 bottom lane. Only a tier 2 stands as the last outer tower for Rue Gaming at that top lane. So they're all getting a big boost of gold. It's a huge net worth, and it makes it even more impressive that TC is still king of net worth right now.
Yeah, TC, again, I've seen this game before from Root Gaming where they have a super farmed Root TC on a Shadow Fiend and that they just can't win because the farm is just gone, from everywhere else. Whether that's a thing in terms of stacks and prioritizing farm in the jungle, whether that's just him playing really well and the rest of his team not quite hitting it, who knows? But for now, they're going to head to the top tier 2 tower, take that last outer tower of Root Gaming, maybe transition into Roshan, pick up an Aegis, and from there try to breach high ground, maybe get another item like a pipe, a blink dagger on the Darkseer, which is very close. And this is just like the item advantage that Complexity have, just because of these towers alone, is so huge for them.
Swindle is in Shadowblade. They were eyeballing Monkeys in mid lane, but as he steps out, they'll step in, make sure the pressure stays on all of these lanes. Top lane already pushing into the high ground. Mid lane's going to be right there as well. This one lone little catapult's going to go right for the tier 3 and then get annihilated there. And I'm very curious. Root have to anticipate that it's going to be on them for the high ground here, and how much of a high ground defense do they really have with this team? They have tremendous defense, of course, with your Coddle and your Blast to keep them back and at bay, but what are they stalling out for? They must feel like they were going to be able to take this in the late game. And what do you think, Mott? I mean, you got a Lone Druid, which is fantastic in the late game, and of course your Shadow Fiend. Sven doesn't seem to be scaling into too much damage too quick, so it's pretty much on them too.
Swindle, speaking of the Sven, pops the God Strength. Swindle caught out. This could be a huge kill. This will actually stop them from doing any more objectives without their Dragon Knight, which I think is huge. But like you mentioned, it's really going to be on the shoulders of TC as well as Moo. Moo's getting recalled. Vacuum needed to go. He might actually make it out alive. He will. That recall just came in time. That nice little pickup from Keeper of the Light just to make sure he stays alive, keeps his teammate alive, saves his life. His bear is not going to be so lucky, unfortunately. His bear will fall, but he has a resummon, I believe he does, yeah, so he'll use that. He has 3.4k. If he goes for Radiance, that's fine, but still, it's not going to be nearly enough. He needs more than a Radiance at this point. He might get caught out in Roche now as the rest of his team's behind.
DD is there.
Oh, he killed it. The Dark Troll Summoner killed the DD. No, TC picked it up, okay.
Yeah, he got it. He got it. They know they're doing this, though. They saw the rocket move in there. They saw him, kind of dance around the neighborhood, and now the Wild Pinks come out. How fast can Root Gaming take this Roche before everyone comes? Complexity on the road here. Moon, Glimmer caped up. They're going to be able to see him here. Call down goes down, but it's not going to connect on anyone. They are deep into the pit. Fluff puts himself on a sideline and will be able to blast it out. Wall's there, but they just walk right through it like it's nothing. They're going to catch out Moon with the stun, lift to pull back the bear. Moon is on the run. The Glimmer Cape's going to be there to help out. Now they're going to get flanked from both sides. Huge stun from Fly that was stolen just before that. And now Ziz charging on fire with his rocket barrage. Can they finish Monkeys? They certainly can. And with that, 3 go down. Aegis on the return here for TC, and they're going to easily lock them down. It's going to be Complexity wiping out 3.
Sick play from Fly to steal that Stormhammer. Into the Breathe Fire from Swindle, who was just back in the fray after dying earlier on. Swindle Melons getting into the fight when he's needed to get in there. They missed the vacuum wall, and they missed the call down. They don't care. They have an advantage in items. The Glimmer Cape keeps Moon alive and kites them back to the choke point, and now they're breaching the top tier, middle tier 3 tower, rather. Blinding Light's going to come out the blast. Like you mentioned, they have very good high ground push. Is it going to be enough for Root Gaming to stay alive here, keep their buildings alive. The weave comes out, the minus armor's there. Illuminate's gonna fly against Swindle, getting low. Glimmer Cape onto Ziz. He's feeling good. He's feeling himself right now. Swindle barely gets out of there with the surge. Weave's still on him. He makes it away. Great fight for Complexity. They take the tier 3 tower. It's a huge start. It's looking so good for Root after that Rose fight.
Yeah.
They overextend and they get caught in a choke point. They lose 3 heroes.
This is like a rough spot to fight as well. These 2 choke points, it's just so easy to get caught out and split apart, and that's exactly what happens. And yeah.
He went for the Silver Edge. I specifically said, this is not a Silver Edge game, and then he buys it anyways. Swindle melons. Come on, man.
So he's going to try his best to, he'll make it work, I'm sure. It's still huge damage. It's a good extra bit of, stat gain as well. Why not, right? So we'll have to see how effective it's actually going to be here. I mean, as I said, the only thing it really stops is the Shadow Fiend and his, passive. So, we'll have to see. Could have stepped off and got a BKB or something else instead, but he's going to go down this route.
Modpax, if you could tell me, there's like a weird interaction, I think, with it and Necromastery, with Silver Edge and Necromastery. I forget how it works. So, I honestly don't know. I'm really not a big fan of this pickup, but for Swindle, I mean, he's snowballing so much that it might work anyways. Solar Crest picked up from Chen, a huge pickup. I love this item. This is one of my favorite items of all of 6.84. So good.
Yeah, it's great.
Armor reduction. There's Weave, there's Warcry. One way to deal with that, Solar Crest.
Plus the evasion and the mischance. It's like having a free mini butterfly to work with.
How are you supposed to kill Swindle when he's got that Solar Crest on top of him?
I don't know.
Maybe even the Glimmer Cape as well.
Or Ziz as well. I mean, this is a Gyro who eventually, typically would get a butterfly, but maybe now he can pass on it.
Yeah.
He's got to get a BKB, it looks like, as his next priority, which is, typical and expected, of course. Now they're going to smoke up here. They're looking to take a fight. They take a fight here, they could take a Rax.
Yeah, they want to do it outside the base for Root Gaming. If they lose too much, then maybe they can, at least de-push a little bit. If Complexity take the fight outside of the base, they don't really mind either way. They want to take a fight. They want to get a pick and try to move in, and they might get that pick on Moo. Monkeys Forever is behind him. Here comes Swindle. He's going to get that Dragon Tail off. There's going to be the Breathe Fire as well. Call down coming in. Good blinding light, the Rock Rush. There's the wall. On to 3. The vacuum back, but it's not enough damage. Moo Teep being out. He's going to make it away. Requiem on the backside, but TC's alone. Do they have another Dragon Tail? TC now BKB still going for only a second longer. Swindle going to the high ground. Look at this jump in Stormhammer, but only onto 1. TC might fall, gets graved up, turns, raises once, twice, 3 times, and Fly will fall down. Swindle now goes to work. Big heal from Fun onto TC. They actually keep him alive. They make sure they get the pick. They keep their base intact despite a huge wall back coming in from Moon Meander. Their base stays alive.
Root Gaming should not have made it out as good as they did. That was a beautiful flank coming in from Complexity in the south. They got the jump on the move, but my God, Root just fought tooth and nail to keep him alive and just keep the team at bay. They get themselves all the way back into the base, and at that point, Complexity might have just inched themselves a little too far and a little too deep. It was an admirable effort for Fly to make that jump into the base, but obviously he did have to pay for it. So I can understand you're feeling so far ahead. You want to be extra aggressive, but you don't want to be handing over opportunities like that to a team like Root Gaming. They will crawl their way back into this game.
And now they have the Radiance as well. Split pushing is available for Root. They have almost an Ags on the Keeper of the Light.
That's big.
When that comes, this game gets so much harder for Complexity. They have this early game-oriented team fight lineup. They want to be taking down tier 3 towers and racks as quickly as possible. And it's not a disaster if they can't get it done early because they have a DK and they have a Gyrocopter as well. But this is not an easy late game here for Complexity. And it turns out that Root are in an okay position, maybe not in terms of net worth 10,000 experience as well. Silver Edge doesn't affect Necromastery, only stops the minus armor debuff. Okay. I thought it did affect it.
No, just the presence of the Dark Lord. So not very much options out there. But he's trying his best to make it work for now. Hopefully doesn't regret not going down that road of a BKB. We saw him get knocked in the noggin right there, and he ate a lot of punishment, like blinding light and stuff like that. It's very effective and something you cannot underestimate here. The unfortunate thing for Root is, Fluff, by the time he's able to finish off this Agnum's, daytime will probably be over. And, in fact, it just changed to night right now, so 4 more minutes of that to go. But once it is daytime and he's got that Agnums, you're talking about a 500 heal coming out each and every blast. Yeah. It's crazy.
Not to mention the constant recall. And what I often forget is he's pretty much Night Stalker during the daytime, which the day vision is huge.
Yeah, give him a gem. and you're going to take the map right back.
Exactly, and it's all about, at this point, map control, making sure Root can feel comfortable outside of their base, which is very difficult now with all of their towers gone. They don't feel safe. You can see TC and Monkeys Forever just sitting near their Tier 3 or where their Tier 3 used to be. Monkeys Forever has a Blink Dagger, and Fly has been showing off his with his Stormhammer. If Monkeys Forever could do the same in big fight situations, they could easily get wiped on Complexity's side. But it comes down to maybe next Roche, maybe a couple more items. Complexity clearly splitting up the map, but Moo is doing the same thing. Moo is down all the way bottom. His bear is doing a lot of the work. They know he's there because the bear is attacking. He also has the Radiance Burn on, obviously, which clears up his creep wave. Fly is nearby. He'll Fade Bolt. Won't connect to the bear. The bear will back away, and he'll probably just TP home. Yeah,
Root are doing a really great job with this split push a bit. They try to get some extra pressure. Even the top, Fluff was hiding out in the trees. He unfortunately just mistimed that blast to connect on the creep wave to bring it down. In fact, Moon still thinks he's up there hiding, so he's trying to vacuum and find his way around. But this is just prolonging this game for Root in their favor. Little by little, Complexity can't really come together and make that charge down the mid lane where they already have claimed that Tier 3. You know, and with that comes more time for Root to hold out. And look at this play they're doing. They're going to smoke, and they're heading out from the base. They're going to try to catch out someone here. Oh, Swindle is going to be under the dark. Do they have any sort of vision? They have a 1 sentry on Fluff, but they're not going to drop it quite yet.
They can't catch him. And TP came out. They actually spotted out the Chen. Creep Army is not going to get blown up. It actually makes it away. Moon's, meanwhile, sitting in the tree line. He has no backup. He's not going to be going for a blink back wall. So he'll just back away. He'll sit in the tree line. That was very close for Root. That was the good old Complexity wraparound. Although we're talking about old Complexity with, of course, TC and fluffy stuff. So it was a good effort from Root Gaming. Wasn't really a Hail Mary play. There was nothing to lose there unless they got counter-engaged on. Moo, though, needs to be careful.
Yeah, they see each other, but there's nothing really to be said. No real backup from either side.
Is he going Scotty? I think so, for the Lone Druid. Interesting.
Radiance with Octarine?
God, no. Dear Lord. Not on Lone Druid. Please don't do that.
Reduce cooldown, more bears.
That's actually true. That's actually not like the most insane thing I've seen an Octarine core user do.
More bears, more battle cries more often. And you get all that sweet leech from the Radiance. Why the hell not?
If it goes Octarine core, I'm paying you like 30 lay.
Nice, dude.
Or 20 USD. I don't know.
Shout outs to Romania and their funny named currency.
Is it lay or lie? Who knows?
I think it's lay.
I think it is lay as well.
Get some lay. Well, it is lay.
Nice.
According to our producer, awesome.
We did it, man.
And it means lion.
That's actually so awesome.
That's so badass.
Yeah, dude.
Have 4 lions.
What does
I want
dollar
that ice
mean?
cream.
What does a dollar mean?
It means derp. I don't know, dude. I don't know. It means freedom, I guess.
Oh, man. We'll be the first pro LD Ags purchase. He is purchasing it. He's going for the Aghanim Scepter, boys and girls.
Oh, you're right. Oh, that means, you know, obviously the Perma Bear. Serious rat tactics that could be coming out here. They have great split push capability here. Root are just going to stretch this game as long as possible.
They're going all in for this one. LD Axe is not something I was anticipating. I was like, Scotty, that sounds about right. Aghanim Scepter with a Radiance for Root. That's Moo. You are okay. Well,
Bulldog's proud somewhere.
Yeah, he's happy. Where's the dongers in chat right now? Bulldog better be in this chat. Let's go. 10-6, 32 minutes into the game, 15,000 net worth for the Gyrocopter. Close behind is TC, sitting at 14,000. He's finished up a BKB Yules. He's going Scotty as well. He's very close. He pretty much has it. He's going to buy it out right now.
Uh-oh, they got the bear, though, in their own woods here. Swindle, we've been scouting it out.
Give me that 300 gold.
And yeah, that's easy. 300 lays, if you will.
Z-Freak picking that up. Yeah, he's happy. He has actually got a big chunk of change in his wallet right now with 2.3k gold in his bag, in his stash.
So now does Complexity look for the fight, knowing that the bear is going to be on cooldown here. Maybe they look to add a bit of extra pressure. There's the magical double damage rune at the bottom river, a game-ending rune.
It is. Also a Roche rune, because Roche is up now.
You're going to see a lot of timid action here from both sides. They got to know this is up. They got to have all hands on deck ready to defend or ready to make the call to go in and get her done.
How often have you seen a double damage rune next to a Roshan?
I feel like half the time.
Yeah, it's almost every time I feel like. It's actually ridiculous. Well, Ice Frog knows what he's doing with those runes. There's going to be just kind of sitting back and farming. Fly has a Blink Glimmer Cape 4-staff. This is one Rich Rubik, and he's still only third to last in the net worth department right now. Moon Meander has the same, plus Arcanes, which... There's the Aghanim Scepter, though, coming out for the Keeper of the Light. Finally, and daytime is happening.
Look at that sight. You can't really see it right now where he is, but it is a big ball of awesome right there. They could just see over high ground, over terrain, and especially with this Roche time, he could just hang out on the outside. He'll be able to see everything that's going on inside the pit. Hell, we can have that precious Ake moment, just blinding light, blast him up onto the cliff. It's a scary thing when you got an Agnum's Coddle on the other side and you're trying to do Roche, and now he's going to be able to kind of be that watchdog right here. So look for him, and he can easily scout out what's nearby. But look at Complexity. They're all over the place, but nowhere near the Roche pit.
They just lost an observer ward near Roche. They should know this is happening. There's nobody in the base. There's nobody farming out in the jungle. They have pretty good vision. And there's only really one place Root could be. Well, two. They could be in the enemy jungle, or they could be here in Roche, and that's exactly where they are. TC will pick up the Aegis. This time he's not going to lose it 5 seconds after grabbing it. He'll TP out, so.
Got to be a bit nervous here if you're Complexity. It just feels like their aggression and their, like, the real offense has been kind of nerfed down and pulled back a bit.
They're playing more for the late game for sure.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. They got a gyrocopter. You know how many times we've seen a gyrocopter just kind of put the game on his back and just take over? And he's going. It looks like he's probably going to be going for the MKB. Could be a rapier.
MKB is real good. Blinding light, obviously, which you mentioned earlier. Big pickup in that regard.
Yes, yes, very true. He's still got full 10 seconds on his BKB. It's fresh and shiny. Ziz has yet to kind of push that button.
Man, the bear is going to be up forever. He can attack well. Not even close to the lone druid. The real rat at the beginning. This is rat 2.0.
Where is his bear? Oh, it's all the way at the bottom right
here. Yeah, he's clearing up a creep wave.
That is annoying.
If he had a Maelstrom too, like he could split push so fast with this. And he could just rat, he could take down towers with Demolish, not even a problem. So Complexity now has to deal with a rat pretty much on the other side of the map at this point. It's very difficult.
Yeah. Oh, this is starting to be a bit of a headache here for Complexity, and there's still a lot of towers for Root to take down, so that's even more money to come their way. Net worth still heavily in favor of Complexity, but we might see this grab start to dip.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it definitely could. It really just comes down to fighting with this Aegis, making sure they don't get pushed in by Ziz. They have a lone druid Spirit Bear. It can be wherever it wants. As long as it moves there, it can get recalled very, very quickly and will survive even if the lone druid does die. So Moo can play a bit more aggressively as well. And I mean, as long as he's got buyback too. But they're going to TP top lane. They're realizing that mid and top are getting pushed in. So they take down the T1 tower in the top lane as well. So that's huge. But they have to go back home. They have to defend their base. And actually, Fly jumps in, telekinesis the bear, gets Stormhammer. Nice little pickup there. The bear is actually chasing down Fly. The bear can solo kill him. The Glimmer Cape's going to come out. The Radiance Burst is going to follow him. Fly's looking to juke. The bear won't chase any further. And there is that potential for a bear to solo kill a support at this point of the game because of just how it works. Meanwhile, Swindle's sitting under this Sentry Ward, but there's no vision.
Coming. Oh, I was actually just going over to TC. Good old TC. He's got that Scotty. He's got that Aegis still to work with here, so Root Gaming might look to continue their push, go for some of those tier 2s. His BKB is down to 8 seconds, and he's still got about 2.7, 2.8K on this very fat Shadow Fiend. Still only second in net worth to that Gyro.
Swindle has an Invis Rune, also has a Silver Edge to work with.
He's somewhat alone here, but now TC is putting himself a little too far from home. Oh, intuition, maybe he puts himself back. He's going to get stunned up right here. Dazzle there nearby, able to help out with the Grave. He saw his Aegis, remember. They're made into this one. They're trying their best. Call down's going to be there. It's a very nice location onto the 2. TC, though, ready with the Requiem. Going to dish it on offense. Big damage. Monkeys, though, in trouble. Get saved with the Shallow Grave. Now they're looking to turn back on the Ziz. Can they burst him down in time? Chen pulling out the heal. The wall goes down, and Complexity now looking to finish what they had started from previously, and now we'll have to see TC back on the second line. He is annihilated with the stolen Requiem. Are you kidding me, Fly?
Fly is playing out of his mind this game. He was so patient with that initiation. He was baiting it the entire time, saying, Swindle, you go to work on TC. I'm going to sit in the back line, see what I can find, and steals. And he gets done so much with the Stormhammer, followed up by that Requiem stolen. Fly playing absolutely fantastically. Swindle will take a Stormhammer to the face. Spell will be stolen again. Fly really wants that Stormhammer. Good stun. There's going to be the Blinding Light, stopping the push a little bit from Swindle. Still there for a couple of seconds. The melee rack's in trouble. They do not want to buy back on TC, but they might have to. Glyph will go out just at the last second. They really are baiting Swindle into this. Call down's going to go through. Dust is popped. They get the melee racks. Buyback comes in. Stormhammer onto Ziz. Moo going to work. TC jumps in. They'll get Ziz, but will they get anything else? Buff dies for the cause. Fadebolt getting the kill. They will pick up that Gyrocopter. Ziz, Glimmer Capes away. They have no detection. The gem's on the ground. They finally drop the Sentry. Raise one. Vacuum back in, but no wall. Moon blinks away right afterward. He'll TP out as well. Fly gets away somehow. Houdini. This guy somehow makes it away again.
He is warmed up and ready to play. His Rubik performance this game has absolutely been ridiculous. And a 1,500 damage Requiem. Oh, he's just like, I'll show you how it's done. That is crazy.
That's been the story of Fly this game. Your Stormhammers have been okay. I'm gonna use a Stormhammer to destroy your entire team with it. Oh, your Wreck Room's good. I'm just gonna blow you up with it. And
that was something else.
This Rubik is showing why this hero is a top-tier pick, I think, in this patch. Telekinesis #1, Spellsteal #2. Nullfield, you can't deny the 20% magic resistance as well. Like, how do you bring them down?
And it also goes out to your, creeps as well now.
I believe so.
A recent buff. And that's a big deal. You're going against the COL with that blind, or not the blind light, but with the illuminate and stuff. It's like, now he's able to help out his whole team. He's able to help out all those creeps when they're trying to make those kind of high ground pushes. And they really sweat it out just to take down that tier 3 and 1 melee Rax. There's still a range staying in this mid lane, and I don't feel like Root Gaming are going to be close to throwing in the towel. Certainly not yet. It might go all the way till they have to finally lose that last set before they decide to tap out.
I feel like Complexity are just playing so much better, and I talked about Fly, obviously. This guy was a top-tier player at one point, playing for the likes of Fnatic, and even, I believe, playing for Secret for a period of time as well. Like, he is showing why he is a top-tier pickup, especially on support. Like, he's played off-lane, he's done that work before, but the support play from him has been outstanding. Root will smoke up another good old Complexity wraparound potentially. Might find Ziz down bottom, who's a big pickup. He's his BKB, MKB. He will have buyback if he dies. He's 400 surplus. They throw up ward. And Ziz is afraid. He's sitting behind this tier 2 tower, and he knows that there's something happening. Maybe take some farm up. Will they jump in is the question. It looks like they will.
They're making the go. Ziz is pretty far forward here. Fluff couldn't jump manually quite yet, but he's still going to grab it there. There's the stun. There's the blast. Hand of God comes out, but it's not going to be enough, and they're looking to follow it up with a tier 2 tower. Solid pick coming out from Root Gaming on the bottom lane.
And now the onus is on Complexity. Do we buy back? Do we, Luckily, they have mid pushed in, so Monkey's Forever does have to go back home, but they can recall him. It is daytime. Fluff has got his recall ready.
Yeah.
And TC's going to go right to that high ground. TC does not have buyback. He has no Aegis. He only has BKB. Swindle jumps in. They see him, though. The Entangle came out. The Bash came through. Vacuum wall into 4. Can they get anything done with this? Fun getting low. He's got Grave. Can't use it. Fluff's about to fall as well. The Scotty coming through. The Swindle slow, rather, with that Elder Dragon blue form. They're chasing after that bear. Fly has Blink in 1, but gets resummoned by the bear. Monkeys Forever, the last one out, will be able to make it away. Root Gaming lose 2 heroes. Monkeys will grab a DD. He'll blink up to the high ground here momentarily after popping the Warcry. He'll stay alive. And they should be headed back to base. Cooldown's going to go. Ziz can't get there in time, but it's 40-second cooldown, so who cares?
Yeah, no biggie. They're going to head back, try to get these lanes pushed back in, and try to make a committed push, but only the supports went down. They got very low respawn timers. Not a huge deal here for Root, but they are heading over even more here to Complexity. Put up a very solid defense there, just aggressive. Pushing outside the base, getting what they want. Beautiful setup there from Moon with his vacuum wall, and they were just trying to get the hell out of there. Complexity were not looking to let them.
Those 2 supports were food at that point. That is a Aghanim Scepter for Chen.
And he's got a Golem.
Oh my god, already. He already has a Golem.
Yep. That's big. That's real big.
How do you kill this team?
30 seconds for every Hand of God. Chen, man, loves that Agnums. He is decked out as well.
Yeah.
He's got that mech, that Solar Crest, now the Agnums on top of his gem.
No Greaves, though.
No Greaves yet. But, of course, first things first. Get that beautiful Agnums.
Yeah, that's much more important. He also steals the Ancient Thunderhide. You could do worse as far as the creep is concerned.
Agnums on Darkseer as well.
Oh, that damage is going to be ridiculous coming out, especially from TC's Shadow Fiend if he gets caught in it. That is not feeling real great for the side of Root Gaming. Their supports are going to die almost instantly if they're not careful. It feels as if Complexity are one team fight away from taking this game, especially with TC not having buyback. That's all they really need is a TC pick plus a couple of heroes, but Root will go for a smoke again.
They're baking on success here. They need it. They're going to go wrapped all the way around, probably for Swindle at the top, dude. They have detection ready.
Is he going to TP out?
Sell your stick? They have a gem. They have a gem on Moo. They have a gem on Moo. They're going to get him.
He's dead.
Yeah. They're going to move in. No Mana Leak yet. It doesn't matter. They're going to be able to catch him out. Blast is already going to be there, and they're going to easily clean up your DK. Another successful solo pick for Root, and if it's going to be anything like last time, maybe they follow up with a bit of a push here. It is getting close on the Roche timer, though. Chen already has a creep scouting it out in the pit. Need about 1 more minute before that big boy shows himself. And Root are just going to try the best, maybe go for a tier 2 as a follow-up.
This game still could go any way. I mean, it is 15,000 in favor of Complexity, and they really only do need 1 fight. But those pickoffs for Root extend their lifespan a bit further on into the game, especially with now the Aghanim's done for the Lone Druid. He's got another item, I believe, on the bear currently. Does he? Yeah, he has the Bash. He bought that a while ago, and a Hyperstone for what I imagine to be an AC at some point. So that'll be huge. Tier 2 tower top lane is going to fall. Okay, all right. Root Gaming, they're going to realize very quickly that there's no DK buyback if they push up to the high ground here. Whether they keep going or not remains to be seen.
Oh man, 30 seconds without their DK here. What do they look to do? Just kind of fend them off for now? Maybe do out a call down, keep those creeps up in the front, stall things out. It looks like they'll be able to do that. In fact, Root Gaming, it looks like they're going to make an audible here and head to the high road. Get the hell out.
And they don't want to fight into this, even without the DK. He was going to be up in a couple of seconds anyways. I think Lift was still available. It was. So they decided to back up, posture themselves for Roshan, recall a couple of heroes back to the base who may not have TP scrolls, and proceed from there. Roshan is so important at this point. There is a Radiant Chen creep in there. They have an Observer Ward coming out as well, but they don't have that vision coming up from the Coddle just yet. He'll walk over there with the Aghanim Scepter, but it is nighttime, so he doesn't have the vision in the first place. So.
AC complete on your DK as well. Part of the reason why he didn't have that buyback. He bought out to get it finished, and that is a huge aura. Oh man, makes their sieging a lot easier. Obviously benefits their whole team with that armor bonus when you're going against the Weave and the presence of the Dark Lord debuff. Now they're moving on in. They're on the prowl here. They're going to come right behind. Root Gaming Moo's going to get scouted out. They got to get the hell out of there, but there's going to be the stun. Lone Druid's in trouble. Call down's going to be flying on out. They toss up Moo, put him right back on down. He has nowhere to run, but the Grave is going to be there to help it out, but it's just going to delay what looks like the inevitable. He is going down. Meanwhile, Fun tries to TP away, but he's not going to make it out. They both go down. Lone Druid does have a buyback, but the Dazzle does not. Complexity, they're moving in from the south, Mott. Can they finish this game? We'll have to see.
They're going to try to push up to the high ground. There's no creep wave down bottom. They have to push through mid, get in range racks, then maybe rotate from there. So Root they kind of dodged a bullet in that regard. Had it been daytime, that would have been so much better. The heals coming out would have kept Moo alive for certain. They didn't have that vision, obviously. And Snare comes out into Monkey's Forever. He's going to Warcry away. Vacuum back, but only onto one. They Solar Crest him as well. Now they get the Dragon Tail finally. They got to keep him alive. Telekinesis. Hand of God comes through on the other side. They finally bring down that Spin, who does not have buyback. That's huge. Yule Scepter TC is going to wind up the Requiem. He actually cancels it. Ziz doesn't have a BKB. He didn't use it anyways. TC gets the Requiem off finally, but it's still a bit too late. There's the Illuminate. Fly coming in. Fable, they're corralling them into the well. They want to finish off this Rax, both mid and bottom. They take down the range Rax mid. They're going for the tier 3 bottom. They get the glyph up. The move. Spirit Bear is nearby. Back up in 12. He does not want to have to buy back. TC's going to come through, raise a couple of times. TC got his Requiem stolen again. Vacuum Wall comes through. Fun in trouble. Now the Yule's coming out. Fun's going to fall. Do they get the Requiem? They do. Fly gets it done again. Ziz with a double kill. The Rax exposed. Melee's going to fall. This might be it. TC no buyback, and it looks like Root Gaming, they might lose their first game here in this 2-game series against Complexity. What a fight coming out from COL. For pretty much the entire game, they've been outstanding in their positioning and their team fighting.
They have made really good timing on everything. They know that it's night. They can move in. This is their best chance to get the most out of this opportunity. And it looks like they're going to be able to put a lid on the game. And there's Fluff making the call. It is done. Root Gaming coming into the series, the favorites, already an early upset in this best of 2.
That was outstanding play from Complexity. What looked like was maybe a rough mid-game transitions into a superb late game. It was absolutely fantastic play coming out from everybody from Complexity. Most notably, though, at least for you and I, was Fly. Outstanding play from him.
Fly was so good. I mean, he got that blink in beautiful time. He found a Stormhammer what felt like every waking moment. He utilized it almost better than Sven could. And then that Requiem play was definitely the highlight moment of the game as well.